Welcome to the Balsa, your boat to the wonders of the world. Today, we're paddling all the way to the Republic of Congo to search out the elusive Okapi. Okapi are secretive animals that live deep in the rainforests of the Republic of Congo. They are very wary of humans and will flee on a moment's notice, making it nearly impossible to study in the wild. That said, here are 10 fun facts about the Okapi. Number 10. Okapi are the only living relatives of the giraffe. Despite its zebra stripes and deer-like body, Okapi are actually related to giraffes. If you look closely, you can see the family resemblance. Like giraffes, Okapi have horn-like protrusions on their head called ossicones. Ossicones are short, bony growths made from cartilage. Ossicones grow with juvenile giraffes and Okapi. By the time the animal hits puberty, the cartilage hardens into bone and fuses with the skull. Ossicones are typically covered in skin and fur, but in some Okapi, the tips are just unprotected bone. Giraffes are famous for their long, dark tongues, a trait they share with Okapi. Okapi are opportunistic forest browsers and need to eat 40 to 65 pounds, or 18 to 28 kilograms, of food every day. Okapi use their prehensile tongue to strip leaves from branches and pull them into their mouths. As a side note, perhaps considered a bonus fun fact, Okapi also eat riverbank clay for minerals and salt, and sometimes bat guano for extra nutrients. Okapi also use their tongues for grooming. In addition to keeping their coats in good condition, they also use their tongue to clean their ears and eyelids. Number 9. Okapi fur feels like velvet. Upon first glance, you'd expect Okapi's fur to feel like that of a horse, soft but slightly coarse. Instead, Okapi fur is dense and velvety. Okapis live in the rainforest, so their skin produces a waterproof oil that coats their fur, keeping the animals nice and dry in rainy seasons. Many Okapi in zoos are very friendly and enjoy neck and ear scratches. I had the opportunity to meet the Okapi at the Sacramento Zoo, Mo and Forest. After spending time giving them treats and well-deserved scratches, I had to wash a black, slippery residue off my hands. That residue was the oil from Mo and Forest coats. Number 8. Okapi communicate on a frequency too low for humans to hear. Since Okapi were discovered by the Western world in the early 1900s, scientists have observed a number of coughs, bleats, and whistles. The San Diego Wildlife Alliance researchers studying Okapi communication ran recordings through the San Diego Zoo's Sensory Ecology Lab and found that Okapi use a variety of other infrasonic calls too low for humans to hear. Now that scientists knew the calls existed, they began recording the Okapi at the San Diego Zoo around the clock. They found that the calls were most often used between a mother and her baby while foraging. The mother Okapi could communicate and check in with the baby without alerting potential predators that her baby is vulnerable. Number 7. Okapi used to be considered a cryptid. Early European explorers into dark Africa heard forests from local African communities of a bizarre creature that lived deep in the Congo rainforest. The creature seemed absurd, a strange chimera of animal parts. The creature was called the African unicorn. Even reports from European expeditions seemed preposterous. Russian explorer Wilhelm Juncker is believed to have obtained a sample of Okapi pelt sometime between 1882 and 1886, identified as a Maccabi by the local people, though Juncker decided it was a piece of musk deer. In June of 1889, Captain Jean-Baptiste Marchand saw a shy deer-like animal in the Congo that did not match any descriptions in the current zoological literature. Marchand concluded that the unknown animal must have been an antelope. All of that changed in 1900 when Sir Harry Johnston, the British governor of Uganda, heard rumors of an African unicorn. He traveled to the Ituri forest where he was told about the Oapi, by local tribes, a deer-like animal with stripes. Months later, in Fort Mbeni in the Semliki forest, Johnston was given bandoliers and belts made from Okapi hide. His curiosity piqued, Johnston began an expedition to find an Okapi. Led by local guides, Johnston discovered Okapi tracks. He later commented that he was surprised by the tracks. He expected to see a single-hoofed impression, like that of a zebra or horse. Instead, Okapi tracks were cloven with 2 toes on each foot. Illness swept through the expedition, forcing Johnston to abandon his search. While Johnston did not find his Okapi on that expedition, in 1900 he was given 2 pieces of striped Okapi pelt by Lieutenant Mayura, the commander from Fort Mbeni. He sent the specimen back to England, where the Okapi was officially recognized on February 5, 1901, by the London Zoological Society. I want to interject here for a moment. Most of my sources said that Johnston sent 2 samples of Okapi pelt back to England, but there are a few sources that said he also sent 1 or 2 skulls. I wasn't able to find a definitive answer on that one. Regardless of the exact samples that were sent to England, it was enough to convince the London Zoological Society that the Okapi was its own distinct species. Today, the Okapi continues to live up to its nickname of the African unicorn. Its secretive nature makes it notoriously difficult to study in the wild. It wasn't until 2008 when the first photograph of a wild Okapi was finally captured by one of the Zoological Society of London's trail cameras. Number 6. The Okapi's name is derived from their zebra stripes. The native word for Okapi is oapi. This is a compound of 2 words, oka, which means to cut, and kapi, which means, according to the Okapi Conservation Project, is a noun referring to the design made by arrows by wrapping the arrow with bark so as to leave stripes when scorched by fire. So, Okapi stripes resembled the stripes on the arrow shafts. Like our own fingerprints, each Okapi's stripes are unique. The stripes are believed to serve 2 purposes. First, they mimic lighting coming through the trees, helping them to camouflage. Secondly, the stripes may help young Okapi to follow their mother through the dark forest. For this reason, many people call Okapi stripes follow-me stripes. Now that we're halfway through, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more fun wildlife videos. It would really help out a new channel like mine. Thanks! Number 5. Okapi have scent glands on their feet. Okapi have a very keen sense of smell. Since Okapi are generally solitary animals, they use scent glands on their feet to communicate with each other and mark their territory. Each scent gland leaves a sticky, tar-like substance wherever they walk. Males will also use urine to mark their territory. Adult Okapis will usually travel about half a mile or 0.8 kilometers a day in search of food. Okapi travel on well-worn trails created by generations of Okapis. Female Okapi have territories up to 3 square miles or 5 square kilometers, while males defend a territory up to 7 square miles or 12 square kilometers. While males do not tolerate other males in their territory, they let females pass through in search of food. Number 4. The Okapi is considered a national and cultural symbol of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Wild Okapi can be found in central, northern, and eastern regions of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okapi used to be endemic to Uganda, but those populations are now extinct. Okapi are considered a national symbol of the Democratic Republic of Congo and have been protected since 1933. Okapi are even featured on Congolese banknotes. Number 3. Okapi are considered living fossils. Giraffes and Okapi both belong to the family Giraffidae. The earliest members of Giraffidae family, Paleotragonae, first appeared in the Miocene epoch in Africa around 25 million years ago. With their short necks and sloping shoulders, modern-day Okapi look very similar to Paleotragonae. A genetic study of giraffes and okapi published in Nature Communications in 2016 found that the most recent ancestor to both giraffes and okapi lived 11.5 million years ago before their evolution diverged, leading to modern giraffes and okapi. According to Merriam-Webster, living fossils are organisms that remained essentially unchanged from earlier geologic times and whose close relatives are usually extinct. In the case of okapi, they have retained characteristics present in primitive Giraffidae, making them living fossils, alongside species such as ginkgo trees, coelacanths, and horseshoe crabs. Number 2. Okapi can suck their eyeballs into their skulls. Okapi make their home in the deep, dense jungle understory. As they forage for food, they need to protect their eyes from injury. Okapi can retract their eyes into their skull, allowing a nictitating membrane to cover the eye. A nictitating membrane is an additional eyelid that protects and moisturizes the eye. This behavior was caught on camera by the Oklahoma Zoo and posted on their TikTok, which has since been deleted. I tried to find another video showcasing the footage and found one on YouTube, which is up in the iCard, no pun intended, and in my sources in the description of this video. Number 1. Okapi are endangered animals. According to the Union of the Conservation of Nature, okapi are listed as endangered with a decreasing population. It currently has a population between 10,000 and 15,000 in the wild. Okapi populations are under threat primarily from the impact of human activities. Healthy okapi populations depend on a healthy forest ecosystem, so they are highly impacted by deforestation, poaching, and mining. An Okapi Conservation Strategy Workshop from 2013 found that the population had plummeted over 50% over a span of 15 years, or 3 generations. But not all hope is lost for the African unicorn. Organizations like the Okapi Conservation Project work with the local communities to find actionable solutions to protecting okapi habitats, improve conservation education, and provide community assistance. You can make a difference in okapi conservation too. If you have the means to do so, consider donating to the Okapi Conservation Project, or symbolically adopt an okapi through the World Wildlife Fund. You'll find links to both of these organizations listed below and in my sources. Share the okapi's story. Bringing awareness is an effective way to inspire others to care about conservation and environmental protections. Support sustainable palm oil. Unsustainable palm oil is a large contributor to deforestation and habitat destruction. The Cheyenne Mountain Zoo developed a free app that allows you to quickly identify if a product uses sustainably sourced palm oil. It's called Palm Oil Scan. Alright, so here is the opening screen for the Palm Oil Scan app. You can see you can either search for a keyword or scan a barcode. We'll go ahead and scan a barcode. We have our samples here. So this comes up green, so it is sustainable, which is fantastic. Sometimes you'll get a yellow where they don't necessarily have an excellent rating, but it's still fairly sustainable. Now as another example, we have this ginger. And you see this ginger comes up red, and there is no commitment to palm oil sustainability. There is one more rating that you can get. And that's if the company hasn't been rated. So if you scan something like this, it gets loaded up to the moderators and they look into the company. I've been using it for the past few years and it's pretty slick. That's everything I've got on Okapi for today. Thanks for joining me in the Balsa. Remember to like this video and subscribe to join us on more expeditions. If you have a video request, comment below or email me. That information, along with the sources for this video, are in the description box below. And I'll see you on our next adventure.